Hello, everybody, and a warm welcome to Women in Sectional Title Soundbite. Today, we are very, very lucky to have on board Vita Wilkens. Vita is an attorney, notary, and conveyancer, and is also a lecturer and program leader at the University of Pretoria with regard to the degrees of BSc Real Estate and a BSc Honours in Real Estate, and that's in the Department of Construction Economics. Very warm welcome to you too, Vita.
Thank you. It is a privilege to have this discussion with you.
So, Vita, the last time I saw you was about 2 years ago in Port Elizabeth at the National Association of Managing Agents in Durban. And I was so excited then, because already then you were telling me about exactly what is happening in the world of community schemes in terms of training and in terms of formulating career paths for managing agents and possible programs through the University of Pretoria. And like me, I know that you are passionate about the professionalisation, literally, of the industry. So tell me a little bit about that, and let's lead into what's on offer.
Yes, interestingly enough, in 2019, it was all about starting to create the thought process that being a community schemes manager is not the same as being an estate agent. The perception out there that we are estate agents. And that was the start of where we are in the process of creating a profession, the professionalisation of the industry. And Nama specifically asked me to speak at that in Durban, to start informing the industry that changes are going to happen. And it's very important to understand that these changes are to the benefit of the industry, where we are at the point where we say, but we are creating a new profession. And sometimes it overwhelms me with the greatness of it, but we are creating a new profession where we say, but being a community schemes manager is a thing on its own. It stands on its own 2 feet. You cannot expect it to be anything else, and that it's time that this profession must grow. Now, if you grow a profession, you professionalize it. And I looked up the definition of professionalisation, and that it says that it is the action or process of giving an occupation professional qualities, typically by increasing training on the one hand, and then also raising the requirement for qualifications. That's how you create a profession, and that's also how you raise standards. And the important thing that people in the industry and the public should understand about creating a profession is, on the one hand, there's the consumer protection, where people in the public assumes that a person with a certain qualification and designation have a certain level of knowledge about a certain subject. And on the other hand, it also means protection for the profession itself, where there's individuals in the industry, in the profession, that has very specific knowledge. They work at keeping that knowledge to standard. They would like to lift the profession. And by creating a profession, by creating certain learning curves, designations, qualifications, you sort of like sort the industry, and the fly-by-nights are kicked out. The people who don't want to keep up to date, I don't want to step on toes, but those practicing out of their garages, you sort those people out, because if you think about the community scheme industry, it is literally millions of rands we are talking about. And this industry is not going to, it's one of the only industries maybe expanding. In the east of Pretoria, they plan to do another 1,000 units. So it's an expanding industry. It's millions of rands. You want people in the industry to be of a standard, to work with that. And in the same time, you want to recognize those people where the public says, but you know, these are informed people, I trust them, I would rather go with somebody who did training and does have a qualification and pay maybe a little more monthly for those people, but I get proper service, than to not do it. And also for the public to understand who's the individuals and the companies who support training.
Can I just say, Vita, can I just interrupt you? You know, when we were talking a little bit earlier, what I really liked was when you said to me that this whole professionalization of this industry and doing this through the University of Pretoria, through the enterprises department, would spur a person forward, really. Not it's, you know, it's not the managing agency that you're working for. It's actually for you, for your own career path.
Yes.
As a managing agent or portfolio manager
Yes.
in the industry. And that's what it's all about. So tell us, how is NAMA involved in this with the university?
So NAMA, being our industry regulator, you can be an industry regulator even though there's no legislation. A voluntary organization is a regulator. So NAMA decided, it's their vision to professionalize the industry, and they wanted a training partner. So they approached the University of Pretoria to collaborate with them on this training. Now, how the University of Pretoria does continuous education, if you can call it that, is through their enterprises arm. So enterprises is fully owned by the University of Pretoria, and all our continuous education, our project management programs, if you want to do a certificate in sports law, all of that is done through enterprises. And there are departments at the faculties who are then custodians of these various programs to check for quality and in many instances to develop the courses. So that is how enterprises comes in as the University of Pretoria's training arm, you can call that, for continuous education, with the support of the departments. Our department is construction economics in the faculty, in the EBIT faculty, and our degree where this would fall under would be our real estate degree, which deals with property management, development, investment, facilities management. All of those things fall under that. Me being an attorney and a conveyancer specifically was sort of like where all of this started, because I'm of the opinion that you should understand the creation of a sectional title in order to manage a sectional title. And that is also how I compiled the levels. In any case, back to NAMA, what we've then decided is that we need to professionalize NAMA. So they're in the process of registering themselves as a professional body. Part of being a professional body is that you must put out designations for your members. And in putting out a designation, you prompt people to I don't want to say improve, to further themselves in their career. Yes. So the decision was to set out 3 designations and to connect those designations to a level of completion of a program. So the idea is then that the individual does the level 1, your level 1 completion, together with your experience, say of a year, together with having to do a certain amount of CPD points, which makes webinars like yourselves and NAMA's webinars so valuable, because that's where you learn very specific things, Airbnb, COVID, insurance, things like that. That together gives you then a level 1 designation. Now we've decided on the following designations. If you are it's like a candidate attorney becoming an attorney. You are a community schemes portfolio manager. That is basics. Then if you do the level 2, you've got more work experience, you've compiled your CPD, you become a senior community schemes portfolio manager. And then if you've completed level 3, with all more experience, things like that, you will then get the professional designation or the designation of professional community schemes portfolio manager. And the important thing about this is you can put it on your business card. It's recognized by NAMA, who is the industry leader, and your furtherance in the industry is not necessarily linked to the managing agent you're working for, but yourself, how you have compiled your knowledge, which have two legs to it. It means you as individual are more attractive to other employers, and also from the client's perspective is the managing agent with the biggest, call it faculty or workforce of portfolio managers with proper qualifications, just looks better for a scheme to maybe enter into an agreement with than a managing agent who's got none of this. The managing agent is not a corporate member of NAMA. The individual is not registered with NAMA. There's no qualifications. So the end result is that you lift the whole industry. You lift the level of service. You lift the expectation of individuals in the industry. And that's all part of, in the end of the day, when somebody asks you what you do, you say, well, I am a professional community schemes portfolio manager. And then people ask you, but what does that mean? And then you say, well, I do all of this. So it's all about improving lives. The people living in our community schemes, the people working in our community schemes. It's an improvement. So currently, these programs doesn't carry accreditation with SAQA. And the only reason for that is the fact that the process of registering NAMA as a professional body has not been completed yet. COVID threw a spanner in that works as well, because everybody, SAQA, people were at work, at home, and so forth. So the moment that that NAMA is registered as a professional body, then the process will start to get these programs accreditation status with SAQA. Now, immediately people will ask, but if I do this now, what happens in the future? Very easy. There's the issue of recognized prior learning. So NAMA as the industry body will say, well, we've put these courses in the market. It is now registered courses, but we will recognize the fact that you already did this through a submission of a portfolio. So starting with the level 1, if you are new in the industry, is not a waste of time.
100%. Can I ask you, Vita, how long is this course going to be? Is it, do you have to go and attend lectures? How would that work?
Each level will have about 8 or 9 modules, which you complete at your own time, in the sense that you still have to complete it in a calendar, in a 12-month period. So if the first module opens, say, the 1st of July, you have to finish all 9 modules at the end of June next year.
Yes,
if you start January, it will go until November. So a level is, call it 12 months. It's fully online. That is, we all know that portfolio managers, for them to be a week out of the office, attending lectures, it's impossible. So it's fully online. It will be study material, and then we are planning to get very specific individuals in the industry to take ownership of a specific module. As we've discussed, somebody like yourself, who's a specialist in terms of the CSOS, that the module on the CSOS will be your module, which you will then compile the academic material and then do short lectures, either voiceover PowerPoints or recorded lectures in the way that you teach.
And can I ask you before you go on, what about affordability of this course? Is it accessible to everybody, or has that been set yet?
Well, I can assure you that, for example, level 1 currently is less than 15,000 Rand. So for 9 modules, getting you your accreditation in inverted commas from NAMA, I think that is a very reasonable price. I know it is less than some other courses that is currently or are currently available in the market. And also there's a huge effort from NAMA's side to encourage managing agents that are members of NAMA currently to motivate their employees to do this, and due to the fact that you're a NAMA member, that there are discount or a kind of a sponsorship or a kind of a bursary opportunities to make it cheaper for NAMA enrolled people.
100%. And I think we're also saying that it's for our women in sectional title, it's such a great career path, because I think we both agreed when we chatted earlier that women are really make great portfolio managers, they make great leaders, they make great CEOs of managing agencies and companies. So I think that's all really good. Vita, thank you very, very much for this. And this is just the first of very many engagements that we're going to have, because for me, this is where it's happening. It's truly exciting. And thank you for all your hard work in pushing forward this initiative. Thank you.
It is a great pleasure. You must also we must thank the people of NAMA for their vision, and maybe just the last thing on the course content, which I hope makes people even more excited about these courses that we're going to put out. Once you walk out of that program, you will be empowered to actually operate in a property world wider than community schemes, because the modules are put together in such a way that you get a bit of law, you get a bit of town planning, you get a bit of property development. So the whole property landscape is sketched so that you understand what is the background against which you function, the deeds office, all those kinds of things. So it's really contributing to knowledge, in my opinion.
And I think, thank you, that's really what Women in Sectional Title is all about. And we will definitely keep everybody updated with regard to everything on this course. And again, thank you very much. Thank you, Vita.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.